My wife cheated on me with my best friend who had feelings for me. Hi, welcome to my channel. Today, we've got a story from r/infidelity where Op's wife cheated on Op with his best friend who had feelings for Op. Before we start, if you have any personal stories of how you got out of a toxic relationship with your cheating wife or girlfriend that you want to share, feel free to email them to me. Let's get started. Original story. Well, I don't know exactly how to begin this. Guess I'll start with a little background. My wife has had moments of weakened commitment before. The first incident was kissing another guy, roughly 2 years prior to our wedding, after we were engaged. The second incident was kissing a girl from her work, who is super sexual and flirtatious with her, while drunk, also after we were engaged. But, a major incident was during our honeymoon where she made out with a bisexual couple, both female, and went to their suite where she blacked out, drunk, maybe drugged. The hospital couldn't conclude any forced sexual activities. I forgave every instance, and give her space while she went through therapy for the honeymoon incident. And she always has been grateful for the last 5 years. Until last weekend. A year and a half ago I moved away from the city to a family ranch to help revitalize the farm and support our grandparents who are aging and getting old and frail. This was a major change in our lifestyle. My best friend, who I met through a mutual friend and we became very close very fast, comes down every couple of weeks, making the 2-hour trip from the city to hang out for the weekend and go back on Sundays. Back when I lived in the city, we hung out almost every weekend as a group. And honestly, with the pandemic, it's been nice to have somebody outside of our immediate circle to hang out with every few weeks. Now I've known the guy for about 10 years, just 2 years less than my wife, and the guy has been pretty interesting as a friend. There've been a couple of odd instances where there was almost a sexual tension between the two of us. However, I'm not bisexual, and I thought he wasn't into men either until I realized what happened this weekend. I live in the cottagecore life pretty hard. Wake up at 4:30 every day and usually in bed around 8 to 9 most nights. We were drinking and I found myself very exhausted and tired. I decided I was going to crash early. They were up playing video games and looking at paints for the walls in our house. And general camaraderie that normally happens when he's over. Apparently, after they have been drinking for a while, stuff came to light while my friend was asking questions, such as would I ever be into the idea of a threesome, or more of a poly relationship. These questions took my wife by shock, and I guess she was dismissive of the questions, but not overly dismissive of the situation. And they continued talking about my friend's past, and when he realized he might be bisexual, and apparently that led to them making out, but my wife apparently ended it there. When I got up at around 11:30 to take a piss, I noticed he was still up. They were fully clothed at the time, and I had a conversation with the both of them about her going to bed since we work in the morning. The next day seemed off to me. I don't know if that was just my innate suspicion of odd situations happening. But neither one of them told me what happened. Upon confrontation, my wife says she doesn't remember very much of it, due to heavy drinking, saying that she blocked out most of the night and she's been trying to piece it together before she finally talked with me about the kiss almost a week later. My wife felt really horrible about the situation and disgusted with herself according to her and has been having a tough time herself coming to terms with the situation and her actions. According to my friend, after I confronted him about the night in question, nothing more happened after the kiss, and he also revealed that he has had deep feelings for me for the last couple of years more than just a friend. My friend says she was pretty coherent and seemed into it, pisses me off he puts it that way. I'm not really sure how to feel about this whole situation. Figured I could talk with you guys as a neutral party because I feel really isolated in my ability to talk with people about this. I don't necessarily want my family to find out, so I can't talk with them, and I don't really have any other friends that I feel close enough to talk with except for the one who's involved in the incident. Just feel really betrayed by both of them, but funny enough I only feel extreme anger towards my friend and just hurt by my wife. Before we take a look at some replies by other Redditors, take a moment to like the video to show your support to the channel. Don't forget to leave your own opinion on the story in the comments down below. Now let's look at some comments. OK_tree6454 wrote. Get your head from out your ass, man. How many times do you wish to be a doormat? They are both playing you for a fool. She has walked all over you throughout the marriage and you still sticking with her. You know, the statistics of your marriage show it will end badly for sure. The extent only depends on your courage and codependency issues. You need therapy. Von Kruger wrote. My recommendation is to say, oh, you were too drunk to be able to consent. No worries, I forgive you, but you need to file a police report so that he doesn't prey on anyone else. If she refuses, you're done. Make her put her money where her mouth is. Requiem wrote. I forgave her the 5 previous times. What should I do now? Are you serious, my dude? Do you think people who get away with this shit change? 5+ years of this bullshit and you think now she will change? Why? Why now after this? You should have never made this a legal battle. But now it is, so stop slacking and find your spine. Excuses are just that, excuses. No reason to shatter your trust constantly, yet it seems that is exactly what she wanted to do, wear you down slowly. Now you care less about the number and just close off like you did the 4 other times. She understands all she has to do is puppy dog eyes and gives you time, and in 6 months she can do it again. Good luck, but luck isn't what you need right now. Open your eyes. I apologize for the aggressive nature, my dude, but 5 times? No conversations and consequences for those? Not enough to keep from doing it multiple times again at least. And like you said, you're angrier at your friend than you're so. Who fucked him just the same? Because she has, and by proxy, you've kinda helped, conditioned you to feel both helpless and semi-okay with the infidelity. I mean, what kind of advice do you want? Therapy? Trial separation? She's going to use any time away from you to get her needs met by whomever anyway, no? People like her don't change, especially when the consequences are minimal to non-existent. I'm sorry if you think I am piling on, but take off the rose-tinted frames and empathize. Take yourself out of the equation and add a loved one who you would never want to hurt. What advice would you give? It's a whirlwind when you're in the middle of a situation like this, and sometimes a quick jolt to the noggin by a hard-hitting truth could help. I also obviously see a sliver of a past version of myself, one that lit himself on fire many a time to keep their significant other warm, only to see the charred husk every time I pass the old stomping grounds. We aren't here for a long time, so don't make what little time we have useless by wasting it on people who don't love you as much as you love them. Rage Sadness Al-Anon wrote, so let me get this straight. He's got feelings / in love with you, so the way to handle that is to fuck around with your wife? And this isn't the first time your wife has been shady. This wasn't about you. This was about 2 selfish, horny, broken people who can't say no or keep it in their pants or think about other people they care about and put them before themselves. Who needs enemies with friends and wives like this? I'm so sorry, man, but I really hope you ditch both of these 2 and find someone who treats you right. Springfield's 45 wrote. Op, so you are telling me that both of them are 2 of the most trustworthy people this planet has to offer, right? Wake up, dude. I would treat what either of them calls the truth as a pile of deceptions. Look, friend, everything they're throwing at you, chaff and flares in fighter pilot vernacular, is 1/4 truths, lies, red herrings to get you off the scent. Until you understand you have been cheated on, several times, and are making the biggest mistake of your life by rug sweeping it each time, no one can help you. Until you understand your wife is anything but truthful and faithful, you will believe whatever they tell you. Do you realize how many times we have heard the same excuses on this forum from a cheated on man? Straight out of the cheater's handbook. We only kissed equals we pounded till all hours of the morning. I'm not meaning to be harsh, but you are not ready to face the harsh truth in front of you. Until you decide you are, these 2 will con you, deceive you and continue to lie to you, and you may end up raising another man's kid thinking it's your own. If you hired an A-list private investigator, I bet in a month's time there would be enough evidence for even Ray Charles to see. For your own sanity and for your future life, please stop living in this fantasy that she's good and faithful and bad things just happen to her. He's a loyal friend and this will all go away if you keep sweeping it under the rug. I really want to see you handle this horrible situation well, and the opposite is happening right now. We don't want to see you destroyed by your own hand. Titus_B wrote. I know it's hard, bro, but it's time. Time to cut your losses, my guy. There are so many other amazing women out there that won't play with your heart like it's a literal piece of meat. Good luck, man. I hope you make the right decision to leave your wife, the cheater. Kranick wrote. So your wife has a history of hooking up or making out with other people while in a relationship with you, and alcohol is often involved. How much she regrets each time can you see by her reduced intake of alcohol? Not. She is still bringing herself into situations where she drinks too much and hooks up with other people. She has learned by now that it is easier to say that she is sorry than to skip out on these experiences. To drink was her decision. To talk with him about threesomes, polygamy, and to keep the night going was her decision. Everything that happened now and in the past times was her decision. The question isn't so much if your wife will ever change, because you have that answer already. The question is much more, are you willing to experience the same again and again? Because that will happen for as long as you are with her. Mr. Niz wrote. I'm not really sure how to feel about this whole situation. Not sure? Oh, I don't know, How about betrayed by both your wife and your friend? Because that's what happened here. Do not, for a second, accept her explanation of, "Oh, I was so drunk I don't remember what happened," exactly. This was either a consensual act, therefore cheating, or it was a non-consensual act, therefore rape. No other outcomes are really explainable. She's basically shifting blame to the booze to explain this incident. If she maintains this narrative, your friend basically had non-consensual sex with your wife. I don't think I need to explain the bad optics on that alternative. Are you ready to put him in prison? Because that's what happened, that's her story. However, I think her story is 100% nonsense. She was wide awake and talking to him when you went in to tell her to go to bed, not passed out in a puddle of puke with her pants down. That means she was in her mental faculties at the time. Yes, booze makes you lower your inhibitions. Totally true. But it does not remove your sense of right and wrong behavior. Your wife knew this was wrong, knew it was hurtful and did it anyway. That's the betrayal. It was a selfish decision, not a mistake, not something that just happened, and yes, she could help herself. She's a grown-ass woman. Apparently, she's a grown-up with a past record of similar choices. Lucky you. As for your friend, please make him an ex-friend. He is no friend of your marriage, that's for sure. Well, come on. He knew you were married, he knew the boundaries of a marital relationship existed, for you anyway, and he didn't give a shit about that part of minor inconvenience. People who knowingly poach marital partners. There's a word for that. What is it? Yes. Scum. Write that guy out of your life. Somehow, he thinks it's okay to sleep with your wife. And you. Simply because that's what he wants. Nope. My practical advice for right now, this minute, is you need to pay attention to the gazillion posts outlining immediate actions, STD checks, bank accounts, seeing a lawyer, getting personal, not marriage, therapy, and many other steps. I'm not going to repeat the bullet points, because I don't want your eyes to glaze over. Still, it's all true stuff, all really helpful things you really need to get in gear fast. Call that advice the tactical actions. Consider them the default. The strategic actions are the ones you need to think on really hard. You need to know things. Things like, has she done this to me before? Is she capable of doing them again? What assurances could she possibly offer to make me believe her now? You say she feels really awful about it? Yeah? Well, how does that make you feel about her commitment to your future with this woman? Have you seen even one measurable, actionable thing she's done that would make you feel like she's a safe partner you could trust in the long term, not to just get out of this mess this week? No? That should inform your strategic decision-making process. Do you really want to be with her in 5 years? 10 years? 30 years? What are the risks, long-term and short-term? Don't jump the gun quite yet, however. I can't say it enough. Go see a lawyer. Like today. You need to get wise on many things, fast. Final word, good luck. Stay strong. You deserve to be happy, Op. What do you think about all of this? Do you have any advice for Op on what he should do in that situation? Let us know in the comments down below. If you liked the video, subscribe to the channel to see more videos like this. Hit the notification bell to make sure you never miss an upload.